Hi, so I'm in to talk about my experience so far with the British Cultural Studies MA program. I personally took a 4-year gap in my studies. I finished my bachelor's in 2017, and afterwards I felt like I need to wait a bit and see what would be the best choice going forward. And well, I actually came back to the same faculty after 4 years, right? And surprisingly enough, everything fit like a glove. The professors, the material, the way in which we approach subjects, right? Everything stayed the same in a way, but it also felt like a continuation. It didn't just feel like rehashing old material. So I do not mean to get into technical details. I wouldn't want to spoil the fun. But right, everything we study here, it gives us tools to look at political and social situations, and the situations, they can be very varied. So for example, we can look at the post-communist nature of Romania, right, currently, and the way in which it has impacted us, or with the same tools, but right, in a different subject area, we can look at the way in which video game characters are portrayed. And that's a new course, and I'm actually really glad that I took those 4 years, right, as a hiatus. So because we have a new course that studies video games and culture, and how that all blends together, and how everything influences each other. And I think it was actually a long time coming, given the popularity of video games and the impact they have, right, socially, and how well social issues reflect on video games, and the other way around. I touched upon the technical details earlier, and I feel like this is something that someone that wants to approach this MA program should hear. It is not a necessity to have a background in philology or anything of the sorts like I did. The subjects, right, they are approachable, right? I think if one is curious enough, you can get a very good taste of the things that we study here by simply looking at, well, you can actually look at the course material and the courses themselves on the British Cultural Studies website. But a very good snapshot of the things studied here can be found in the material, the study material for the exam. Right. Initially, right, I took to the high seas of the internet for those books, but that was really needless. In the end, it is simpler to just send an email to the professors, and they will give you the material, right, directly. Far easier like that. So this has been my experience so far. Not that long, right? It's not even been an entire year, but I'm glad I came back. It feels good to be back, and I'm really happy in the way in which subjects are treated and approached here. All right, so there was actually one more thing I meant to talk about. Earlier I touched upon how there is this back and forth created right between the professor and the student, this ebb and flow, and how everything well flows nicely. I also like the way that we do not necessarily have to just study and cram. The most important thing, and the thing that is emphasized, is actually coming up to a discussion with arguments and ideas, and maybe even hot takes, or at least novel takes. And that's another difference, right, between the bachelor's way of how I felt I approached stuff there, and how everything is approached here. So that would be my final thoughts on it.